Hello athletes, we want to do one additional webinar to kind of walk through the changes specifically for Olympic and MTR courses, just so you have something prior to race day. We will still do the briefing, mainly a rules briefing in the Mercedes-Benz Club on Friday. For those athletes that are racing the draft legal race, we still do have that mandatory pre-race briefing at the Embassy Suites, as well as pack and pick up immediately following, where I will do a similar presentation detailing all the courses on that Thursday evening. To start for Olympic distance, so this is how the venue will lay out. So the start line will be on the north side of the amphitheater. So we will have a large Gatorade inflatable bottle, a black Roca race start arch, and then there'll be a chute on the backside where all the athletes will be staged. All the athletes will remain in the same waves that they were assigned to. Additionally, for the start of the race, it will be a chip start. So your time will not start until you cross under that black Roca arch. So to begin the race, specifically for Olympic distance, you will follow the red dotted line. You'll head out on the course. Again, this is just a snapshot of the venue. You'll make your first left turn. You'll go around. Once you complete the 5.2K, you'll transfer from the Riverwalk back to Jack Warner Parkway, which we'll call JWP. You'll continue back down JWP, where you'll make a right-hand turn into the venue through the parking lot if you're following the green arrow. At this point here where the green arrow is, on run 1, you will continue straight / staying right, and then you'll make a left-hand turn on the back side of the parking lot into the amphitheater where you're going to run in. If you're on run 2, you will make a left-hand turn into the finish line. At about this location where my green arrow is, we'll have a sign that says stay left to finish, and then also a sign that says stay right to transition. So that's kind of an overview of the venue. In all these scenarios, the bike course does not change whatsoever. So going through the Olympic distance courses, I just mentioned the start. This is the exact same item that I just covered. This is what the sign will say at this location. So the green arrow where the magnifying glass is, it'll say run 1, stay right to transition. Run 2, stay left to finish. Again, it's a run, bike, run, 5.2K, 40K bike, and a 5.2K. So run 1, you're staying right to transition. Run 2, you will stay left to the finish line. Run in and run out are on the north side of transition. Bike in and bike out are on the south side of transition. So detailing the run course. So detailing the run course, kind of in the bottom right-hand corner of the map is the start chute, which I had mentioned and I've touched upon. So you'll continue out down the Riverwalk. You'll pass your first aid station, continue down the Riverwalk. You'll do your 180. You'll do the 180 from the Riverwalk. There's a very short transfer from the Riverwalk pathway to Jack Warner Parkway. There'll be an aid station at that location. Also very important to note that para triathletes in the PC Open division will be doing this exact same course. So they will be doing a 5.2K 1 lap run 1. The only exception with the PC Open athletes is that they will do 1 lap on the bike as was advertised prior to the shift to a duathlon. So para-triathletes will do a 5.2K 1 lap run 1, a 20K 1 lap bike, and then a 5.2K 1 lap run 2. All other athletes for Olympic distance will be a 5.2K 1 lap run 1, a 2 lap 40K bike, and then a 1 lap 5.2K run 2 to the finish. So you make this transfer onto Jack Warner Parkway. For both runs, you'll continue back down JWP. You'll pass your third aid station. You make that right-hand turn through the parking lot, and then this portion on run 1 is where you will stay to the right, where the cone line delineates either staying left to the finish or right to transition. You'll run through the north side of the parking lot where you're going to transition, as noted in the bottom right-hand corner of this map where run in is located. Olympic distance bike course stays exactly the same, so I won't go through this other than saying it's a 2 lap bike course, which is 40K. Run 2 for Olympic distance. So you'll run out here, you have a slight jog to the right and then jog to the left. You'll go through the parking lot. Again, you will be closest to the river on run out. For run in, when you're going through that same parking lot, you'll be closest to the backside of the amp. So this will all be delineated by cones. You run on the backside of the northernmost parking lot of the amp. You'll take this short path up, you'll merge, and we'll have a merge lane for those that are maybe starting the race, and then when you are hitting run 2 of the course, you're onto the Riverwalk, passing the first aid station, second aid station, making the transfer from the Riverwalk to JWP, continuing down JWP, you'll hit your last aid station. As you approach the amp, you'll make that same right-hand turn. So I'll shift down to the bottom right-hand corner map. Through the parking lot. At this location where the green arrow is, this is where on run 2 you will stay left to the finish. Now sliding into the mixed team relay. So biggest change or adjustments for MTR is where the starting line will be. So the start line will be very close to the Walls Boulevard Bridge. If you notice on the east side of this map, you'll see the green arrow. So this will be athlete 1's start location only. So athlete 1 will start here. A couple other key points to kind of point out. For all athletes in the northern part of this map, there'll be a sign located here that says run 1, you stay right to transition. So on run 1, you will follow the red dotted line to run in. Very important to also note that your run in and run out locations will be opposite sides on the northern part of transition versus how they were for the Olympic distance. So we will make that shift from a signage standpoint. So very important to know based off of how the tag needs to operate. Additionally, this sign will also say stay left to the finisher tag zone. MTR tag zone will be here. So this is where athletes 2, 3, and 4 will be located. If athlete 1 is on the course, athlete 2 is at the front of the corral, so on and so forth, when athlete 2 is on the course and athlete 3 is on the course. Athletes 2 through 4, when you get tagged on run number 2 from the athlete prior to you, you'll be tagged in this area. You'll continue down the red dotted line, as noted here, following the green arrow. You'll make the left-hand turn, you'll run under the start arch, and then continue on your course. So detailing run 1 for athlete 1 only. So you will start at this area. As I mentioned, you'll come out. There'll be an aid station here if you choose to grab aid. Coming back through and then into the northern backside parking lot of the amp into run in. Bike course remains exactly the same. So it's a 1 lap 5.9K bike. In run 2, so just to touch on run 2, so you will run out the north side of transition, you'll go around the side of transition onto the area in front of the amphitheater, you'll come up around, you'll continue, you'll go under the start arch. Again, this is run 2 for all athletes. You'll go around, you'll hit your aid station, you'll come back in this way. Once you get to this location, this is where the physical tag needs to happen. So you tag at either athlete 2, 3, or 4, depending on which athlete prior to them is on the course racing. Once the tagger tags the taggee will continue south following this red dotted line and following my green arrow. They'll then make that left-hand turn to complete their run 1. For the tagger, once they make that physical tag, they continue straight into the finish line where they will complete the race. So these kind of two overviews I've just given for both the Olympic distance and mixed team relay. As I mentioned, hopefully this helps to kind of walk through things from your side of things. For the Olympic distance race, biggest things are obviously the format, a run, bike, run format, and the start area will be on the north side of transition. One also very important thing to note in terms of spectatorship and kind of moving throughout the venue. So if you see the green arrow here, this is where the start area will be. You'll be able to access this whole area on the backside to spectate. Once you're done spectating the start area, you need to follow the green arrow. You'll walk down on the backside of transition here. There'll be a spectator crossing at this area, which will get you into the venue, and everything else will remain the same from a spectator crossing standpoint. So we'll have our staff and security in this area to help you guide you back this direction, so that way you can maximize your viewing for the race. For Draft Legal and those high school athletes that may be listening to this, I will do a very similar presentation at the pre-race athlete briefing on Thursday. For those Olympic and MTR athletes, we will still have the rules briefing that takes place on Friday afternoon. That those are optional, that you could wish to attend. We will not have PowerPoint and visuals, which is the reason why we're doing this now, to hopefully give you a chance to look through these maps. But again, our lead official as well as myself will be there, and we can kind of walk through things there as well. So again, thank you to everyone. We really appreciate everything, and safe travels to Tuscaloosa.